You've got a great strategy deck, you've got a great team, and yet something's broken. The ownership's gone, the spark's gone, and today you'll hear how one CEO brought it back. Hugues Meyrath spent decades inside the largest tech systems on earth, and after retiring, he came back to rebuild the company as CEO that built him first. Quantum, the 45-year-old company that quietly powers Hollywood and even the AI revolution itself.
I came back from Belgium to Silicon Valley, and what was funny back then was everybody said disk drives are dead, tape drives are dead, and 30 years later, here they are. That's what it's about right now. It's having a group of people that are passionate to rebuild this company where it's supposed to be.
This rebuild wasn't about new systems or tools. It started with something far harder: rebuilding trust, transparency, and ownership.
The values that I have, the ones I'm putting into Quantum: transparency, integrity, telling the truth, and extreme ownership. Right? I have this problem, and we're going to go fix it together.
And when you rebuild with that kind of honesty, the ripple shows up fast.
What we want to do is solve the problems. Action item, owner, due date. 2 weeks it took. And everybody's rallying like clockwork on that call every week. It's been beautiful.
So if your culture stalled or your team's lost its edge, this conversation will show you how to rebuild, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. Why did you come back to rebuild the company that initially built you?
Well, I have this very long history with Quantum, Ben. I came back from Belgium after college with one black Samsonite suitcase to Silicon Valley. And had the opportunity to work in the disk drive business and the tape drive business. And what was funny back then, 30 years ago, is everybody said disk drives are dead, tape drives are dead, and 30 years later, here they are. For me, it was passion for the company and the employee and the history. I think I read this book, I don't know, 30 years ago around company life cycles, right? Most company in technology live between 11 and 13 years. Quantum's 45. We were founded in 1980, 2 years before Sun Microsystems, for example, that's disappeared. So I think for me, the legacy of the name, the legacy of the brand, the ability to deliver great things to customers, have really amazing customers. I think it's probably the first storage company that I work for where people know who my customers are. I can tell them what the product does. So it's such a privilege. And you almost feel like after working with this company around it for 30 years that it's your destiny. And that's what it's about right now. It's having a group of people that are passionate to rebuild this company where it's supposed to be. When do you get to be the CEO of a great public company, a great name in data storage, a great name in media entertainment? You get to be the boss, and you get to help the company, and you get to learn from all these great people that have built this company for 45 years. For 30 years, I thought I was going to get it. Then by the time I said, it's not going to happen, the stars and the moon are not aligning, and you go retire, that's when you get it.
It's like letting go of the objective. What changed within you to make you ready for this role? Like you mentioned, hey, I stopped trying and striving per se, specifically for the role. What did you develop that allowed you to really step into this job ready to go?
My favorite story about personal development came about 15 years ago. I ended up working for the wrong company from a culture perspective. What happens when you look at leadership and you're trying to grow and you're trying to move up, you're trying to mimic the culture or the behavior in a company. And you're trying to mimic the executives, and you're trying to fit. And I was absolutely miserable because I was working for the wrong company and the wrong culture. It wasn't me. I ended up having this meeting with this executive coach, and I didn't know where it came from. So I'm meeting with the exec coach, and she tells me, well, I'm a gift from your friends, Angela and Lisa. I mean, what do you mean? Well, they know you for 15 years, and they said you're different. And I'm going to help you get back to your true voice in your true self because you're lost in here. So I worked with her for several hours and realized that leadership's just not about mimicking behavior, reading books. I mean, they're all great. I read them all the time because I get nuggets out of it, but not two leaders are the same. And you have to have your own voice. And you have to also understand when you go to a company, what can you bring and what's the culture and what's the gift. So I think that's the change for me, is to making sure I still have I have my voice, I have my style, I still have to grow, I still have to learn, but I can wear a turtleneck right now. I won't be Steve Jobs, right? So I have to find my voice. And I think that changed everything for me from there on.
What were the values that you discovered or rediscovered for yourself?
Well, the values that I have are the ones I'm putting into place at Quantum. We talk a lot about integrity, which means for us, we're just going to talk about everything to everyone. We're just going to tell the truth. I mean, Quantum's been around, we're successful, but people are asking about, what are you doing from a financing perspective? What's your story? When things go well, when things don't go well, if I talk to a customer, I will always tell them the truth. If I talk to an employee, I will tell them the truth. If I talk to you, Ben, for me, it's about transparency, integrity, telling the truth is one. Extreme ownership. I talk about ownership, but the way I think about ownership is extreme ownership, right? The company right now is mainly a functional, organized functionally, finance and sales and ops. But for me, extreme ownership is there's an issue. The integrity part says, hey, I have this problem. Extreme ownership is we're going to go fix it together. And I can assign you an action item. You can assign me an action item. And I'm looking to say, if it's a numbers issue, it's not just a finance issue. A numbers issue could be something that sales can help with, or ops can help with, or I can help with. So it's super important to have extreme ownership, in my opinion. And then urgency. I mean, we're in the tech world. You want to get to an outcome very, very fast, right? These are my values, and this is my style. That's how I thrive. And these are the people I've hired around me. Are like that as well. Most of them know me for 15, 20 years. And that's something we're trying to bring to the employees as well. Employees are asking me, how do I work best? How do you communicate? How they can communicate with me? What matters to me? That's the first thing they asked me. They didn't ask me what's your product strategy? I mean, it came into the second all hands, but the first questions were about style and communication and trying to build dialogue. In the way I can accept it. And after having that question 2-3 times, I was trying to figure out what's the culture of the company. I couldn't really put my fingers on it. So I said, okay, well, they want to know how I communicate. This is how I communicate. So it became, the core set of value. But it started with the employees asking for it in a certain way, which was very profound. Okay. We should all be humble in victory and defeat, especially, and be willing to work together. That's how we grow. Action item, owners, due date. It's not personal, it's business. And creating that structure for me works really well. And it's about the outcome and the timeline and who's going to do it. But it's actually fairly traumatic in many cultures, especially an old company like Quantum, because they're do you expect me to name names? Yeah, I do. Right? It's pretty hard. We're not here to listen to the prompts to action item, owner, due date. 2 weeks it took, 2 weeks. And they're just like clockwork.
Or what do you think as a leader when you show up and the cameras are off versus the cameras on?
When I go to those meetings, my camera is on. I ask my leaders to do the same, be engaged, put the camera on and push that through the company. It makes a huge difference. Some people would self-select out, but right now attrition is at a low of 2.3%. The second journey is different. That's my journey with the trust of a great supportive board of directors that's insanely talented. And I've been able to attract a lot of new management team that are all very talented. So it's teamwork. But you started with a great base. I mean, we have employees that have been there 26, 27 years. They're still there. We have some of the best minds in data storage still working for us. They're passionate about the product. They've been disappointed the past few years by our trajectory, but I owe them a lot more. We raised $87 million. We paid off 2/3 of our debt and converting some of our debt to equity, which makes us more viable. We did have to reduce headcount to give us headroom from a cash perspective, which is painful. But all these things together set us up to a point where we can focus on growth. And now really it's the product playbook, the sales expansion playbook. Sales has just been amazing to watch the last 4 months. Just bringing 2-3 new sales leaders and enabling people that are already there, that have been there forever, thrive in the organization through higher responsibility or flatten the organization. Our sales organization right now is amazing, and they're working between the new ones and the existing ones. They're amazing. So they're joking together. They're competing on numbers. You can see that the whole mindset has dramatically changed, right? So bringing talent in the company just creates this whole new energy for people that are there and the people coming in at the same time. And, right now it's about product innovation and sales expansion, right? These are the two. This is where you continue the growth story. It's not about me, it's about Quantum. I've worked with this company for 30 years. And like I said, most companies last 13. I want Quantum not to be a 45-year-old company. I want a company that stays there for decades. Part of the journey of turning this around is like someone else can take care of it in a few years and continue the Quantum legacy. It's a great place.
Hugues, it's been a fun one today, sir. I'm bullish on Quantum, and you and your team sounds like so many good things, and can't wait to see what you guys do next.
Thank you so much, Ben. Appreciate the opportunity.